Tyrion? What are we doing here? I'm sure. For some reason, you felt drawn to this place. Wait. Is that Eris? Celeste points further into the cemetery. There you see Eris standing in front of a gravestone. She's placing flowers on it and appears to be chanting a sort of prayer? Well, you found her. We should probably talk to her later. It would be rude to disturb her now. As you're about to leave, Eris suddenly turns to face you. She's far away, but you can see her beckoning you over. Oh. Hello there. Were you two looking for me? Sorry, we were looking for you, but we understand if you'd rather talk later. No, I was just finishing up here. Did you have something you wanted to talk to me about? Well, we wanted to ask you some questions about the case. Oh? Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Tyrion. Cuthbert. On the last episode, we got the trial to delay itself a bit. Not really, the trial happened, but the judge was like, we need an extra day to go over things. Also, I forgot to put on my glasses. So I'm gonna grab the mic. Let's see how this sounds on camera. I'm gonna stand up real quick. Boy, howdy do I need those to see. My eyes will start hurting and shit if I don't wear them. But anyway, we're talking to the demon ghost, so the trial. This was my first time watching a court trial. You were truly remarkable. Thank you. Were you in the gallery? I've always enjoyed watching physical battles in the theater. But I see now that Battle of Wits could be just as entertaining to watch. Entertaining? Yeah, I know what you mean. You see, the odds are stacked against him, but then he suddenly pulls out this crazy deduction and steers the trial in his favor. I've never really thought of it like that. But I'm sure it's far more entertaining to be the one making the deductions. I'm not really sure what you mean. I practice law so that I can help those persecuted by the justice system. I don't really do it to entertain myself. Is that really true? Don't you find the experience even a little bit entertaining, Tyrion? Did the text change before flashed her? I wouldn't really put it that way. You're far too modest. You save people from the clutches of death. To your clients, you might as well be a knight in shining armor. I do like doing her voice, though. I will say, I kind of hope she sticks around for more cases, even though she terrifies me. But I do have a bit of fun doing her voice. I have no idea how it sounds on the recording, but I'm having fun, and that's what's important. Earlier you said that you were studying illusion magic. I am. Did you want to ask me about the prosecution's theory? Yes, actually. How'd you know? It was easy to guess after seeing you in the courthouse. Anyways, disguising an undead with an illusion is definitely possible. And as Lady Steelwood said, illusory disguise would be the best spell for that. What if someone created a freestanding illusion? Freestanding illusion? We know that Wallace didn't animate and disguise the professor's corpse. So what if the illusion wasn't disguising anything? Maybe someone created a freestanding illusion of Bellwether walking around. For something like that, one would probably use meteor illusion. Alright. It's a three-dimensional illusion. The illusion can take the form of any object or creature that can be contained in a 10-feet cube. While concentrating, the caster can animate and move the image to different location within range. Alright. Major illusion. What is it? I don't think major illusion is what we're looking for. Do you remember what John said? Yeah, we already read this. Hotspur, babada bing baboom. If the bellwether that Jan saw was a major illusion, she couldn't have knocked over that vase. The illusions created by that spell don't have any mass. I see. How perceptive of you. Aren't there any other illusion spells that do have mass? No. Illusions can only recreate visual and auditory sensations. But there isn't a single illusion spell that someone can touch. So that means that someone disguised something to make it look like bellwether. Why the look of suspicion, Celeste? Sorry, I wasn't... Calm down. I'm only joking. I don't blame you for considering every possibility. In fact, I'm flattered you think I'm capable of pulling off such an elaborate ruse. Anyways, this does tell us one important thing. And what's that? The bellwether that Jen saw had a physical mass to it. It wasn't a freestanding illusion, it was something disguised as bellwether. Shoot. Okay. Gravestone. It's quite a shame, isn't it? Eris looks pensively at the gravestone. The name on the stone says Emily Grant, and her lifetime appears to be awfully short. She must have only been 12 years old when she died. Sorry for interrupting you. Was she someone you knew? Not personally. I'm actually here on Wallace's behalf. Wallace knew her? Wallace joined the Academy as part of a program run by Headmaster Redmond. At the time, the Headmaster was reaching out to mages among the common folk. He had started a program to admit these mages to the Academy without having to pay tuition. Both Emily and Wallace were among those mages. Wow, it must have been an amazing opportunity for them. The truth is, neither of them actually cared about learning magic. The real problem was that Emily had a terminal illness. She and Wallace were poor orphans, and they obviously didn't have the resources to treat her. What if they enrolled in the Academy? The Academy would be obligated to give her medical treatment. The Imperial Academy teaches the best mages in the kingdom. They thought that curing her illness would be an easy task for the Academy's healers. But they were mistaken, I'm afraid. I'm sure you know this by now, but healing spells can only treat wounds. They can't cure illnesses. Emily's condition only got worse and worse over the years, and eventually she succumbed to her illness. Wallace was furious. He didn't understand why the kingdom was outlawing magic that could save lives. And that's why he decided to learn it himself. Yes, the headmaster was inspired by Wallace's resolve. He gave him access to the Academy's forbidden tomes of necromancy. And Wallace taught himself the spells he knew today. So, that's why it was supposed to stay a secret between him and the headmaster. But I'm sure you know how that turned out. Pray for an individual that you don't know. Be best to live undisturbed. I assume that's all of the ones. It's the grave of Emily Grant. It's a shame that she died so young. You briefly say a prayer to Bahamut. Wait, that's sweet. I mean, she's still dead, but... Alright. So are we chill? I wasn't quite sure what to make of you at first, but you truly are remarkable. Thanks. I think I quite enjoy watching you battle Lady Steelwind. I only hope the climax lives up to my expectations. It's a fancy-looking sword, Celeste. Is it from the Eastern Kingdoms? Yes, actually. How'd you know? I've encountered a few weapons from there before. They have a unique style that's easy to recognize. Really now, I can't tell you everything we need to get through this case. What would be the fun in that? Okay. Fuck, she's creepy. Lady Steelwind is really something. Yeah, I feel like she's always one step ahead of me. But she does have a habit of relenting when she realizes she's wrong. I think you deserve a worthier adversary. I mean, she can be a pain sometimes, but I'm glad that she pursues justice even if it means she loses. It's strange. You'd have never seen yourself holding such a high respect for a noble. Anyways, I wonder what would drive a noble like her to become a lowly prosecutor. I'd love to know the story behind that. We know that Wallace was accepted through Redmond's program, but what about you, Eris? Are you trying to ask me if I'm a noble? Sorry, I didn't mean... No need to apologize. Although the answer to that question is a bit complicated. My family is quite wealthy, but I'm not sure if I'd consider them part of nobility. Family must own a merchant's guild or something. Yes, something like that. That was our thoughts, though. That was our thought. She read my brain. She's a demon. She's a bitch, too. Look out! She's a ghost and a bitch. Oh, that's a joke purely for me. She's creepy, though. Like, everyone here is, you know, technically looking at the screen, but she's really looking at the screen, you know? I mean, so is she, but I think that's supposed to be kind eyes. I don't really come across that way, but maybe that's just me being... Shit, she creepy. She's supposed to be, though, so it's not like I can really complain, but... God, I feel like complaining. It's strange, really. If it weren't for his disposition, Wallace would be quite the person to fear. What do you mean? It's clear to the three of us that he didn't commit the murder. But think about how easily he could have done what he was accused of. He could instantly kill anyone using necrotic blight. And he could even raise them as undead using enemy corpse. I suppose so. But Wallace would never do something like that. It's surprising what someone can do if they're pushed far enough. It really makes me wonder how idiotic the people that bullied him were. I'd rather not think of such things. Catherine Bellwether wasn't the best person. She constantly used her authority to belittle and torment people. I'm sure the world is better off with her in it. Without her in it. But that's extremely blunt, Eris. But you can't exactly disagree with her. I have no interest in respecting those in power who are unworthy of it. Girl boss? You were with the headmaster in his office earlier. Are you two acquaintances? In a way, yes. You could say I'm a patron of his. I'm mainly interested in why he would go so far to include the common folk in the academy.
His generosity is clearly a vice sometimes.
What do you mean?
Enrolling common folk mages into the academy was already a controversial move. But teaching one of them necromancy, even if Wallace was acquitted, I don't see things getting easier for him.
I guess that makes sense. I won't have anything to say. Yeah. And anything to say about Yan? No. I'm just gonna... Nothing... Yeah, I don't think there's much else to say. Except I do kind of wonder... Okay. I'm gonna assume that's it. That's all to say. Guess, let's get out of there. Hey, Celeste. Let's talk. There's still a lot we don't know.
Yeah. We know that Wallace didn't kill her, but did the true killer really murder her there?
Right. We'll need to go there to find out more.
Where should we go next?
The prosecution believes that Wallace killed Bellwether in the library.
They didn't really investigate that room the first time around.
We might be able to find some new leads there. That's everything I already saw, right? I do like this theme. The music's so good. Oh, it's you, Mr. Cuthbert. Steelwind, what are you doing here? After what happened at the trial yesterday, I decided it would be best to start my investigation here. Right, Wallace was in the library for the entire morning, so it makes sense that she'd start her search here. Actually, since I have you here, have you seen Eris Ilmat anywhere? It's my understanding that you're both acquainted with each other. Eris, what do you want with her? It's not for anything serious, mind you. It's just that oath of a commander lost to her spell compendium. Now we need her to produce another one for our records. If you see her, please let her know that we'd like to speak to her. We saw her earlier in the cemetery nearby, but I have no idea where she is now. Once again, I have to compensate for that idiot's mistake. Yes, she did some bullshit. That's why we can't see her spell companion, because she's got, like, some archaic shit in there. I'm telling yous. But, dang, do I wish I could look through it. Anyways, I was wondering if I could ask you some questions about the case. Very well, I suppose I still need to honor our deal from earlier. Make sure she doesn't go into Ellis territory. Have you had any luck finding the scene of the crime? Unfortunately, I haven't. From the witnesses' testimonies, we have a rough idea of the route Bellwether took. But none of the rooms we've checked have any sign of a struggle. Why are you so sure that a struggle happened? I'm mainly basing that off of the Lana sisters' testimonies. Valerie, in particular, noticed that the bleeding came from a wound in her stomach. Regrettably, the body's wounds were mended, so we can't determine what kind of a weapon the murderer used. Right. Other witnesses. During the trial, you mentioned that another witness saw Bellwether walking around yesterday. Would you be willing to tell us who that person is? I'm sorry, but I can't tell you that. You're kinda little... You've been pretty transparent with your investigation so far. What's changed? I have no obligation to justify myself to you. Nor do I have an obligation to help the opposition. Didn't we have a deal? Hiding information doesn't exactly seem fair to us. I believe I've given you plenty of information already. So regardless of what I said before, the answer is still no. Well, sir, family is dangerous. Our family is dangerous. Family is dangerous. What does that mean? Is there something about this witness's family that you're worried about? No, this could be a feint. I'm sorry, but you'll have to try harder than that if you want to bluff me. Whether the witness is her. Family is dangerous. Why would she go through such lengths to hide the witness's identity? In case it's not all she's willing to share at the moment. Is it another goddamn noble? Alright. Are we cool? You always seem to have a habit of confounding my investigations, Mr. Cuthbert. I doubt it's my presence doing that. You can't take everything at face value with these things. Clearly. Now let's talk more about Eris. Oh. This is the same as... This is okay. Same as earlier. Looking at Valerie? I would have never guessed that one of the honest twins was a mage. I'm just glad I was able to prove it in court. It's strange, though. Studies say that identical twins share the exact same genetic code. If the gift of magic is hereditary, why is only one of the twins a mage? That is pretty strange. I seem to say the other thing, gonna go to the other twin. By the way, the music is going hard. I can't believe Olm fell for such a simple trick. He made me look like an absolute fool. You're not actually going to fire him, are you? No, I doubt I would. Don't tell him this, but despite his lack of passion, he is the most experienced member of the Inquisition. He'd be a great asset if he just showed a little initiative in his work. Fair enough. Nope, I wanted to examine. Full books for educational purposes. It's too bad they don't have any fictional books. Were you looking for a novel to read? Yeah, I was hoping they'd have some mystery novels I could read. You like mystery novels? Of course. Why do you think I like this job so much? I've never really been a fan of the mystery genre. What? But your whole career is about solving mysteries. Exactly. It's exhausting. When I read a novel, I just want to read about simple fantasy stories and classic heroes. I guess that makes sense. What about you, Steelwind? I don't really have time for such things. Boring. That is fun though. I like all the little extra fluff dialogue. It's a holy text from the Church of Bahamut. I read some of these with Eris earlier. I've been meaning to ask, do you guys worship dragons in Wyvern? I've never really been the religious type, but I've seen some devout worshippers in the capital. It's the most prominent religion here. The Scale Lord Rathalion is said to be the source of all arcane magic. It's no wonder that he's such a large part of our culture. Did I change her voice? I feel like I changed her voice. Oh well. It's a globe of the world. It's amazing how many other nations there are aside from Wyvern. I've been to most of these places, and you should come with me next time, Tyrion. Isn't traveling through the border heavily restricted? Don't worry, I won't report you. I can't exactly blame you for wanting to leave. I like Steelwind. She's a homie. Due to constant misuse of the Arcane Construct's voice system, voice lines can now only be said by Headmaster Redmond. Is that why I can make the constructs say things? The constructs speak using Professor Bellwether's voice. Unfortunately, that was an open invitation to many of the students. Holy shit, it was a construct! Duh! Oh, yeah, that has to be it. It already looks like her. Or you can make it to look like her. It has her voice. It can do stuff. That's the most obvious thing to do. That has to be that. A lot of them are ordered
A lot of them ordered the constructs to speak several obscenities using her voice. And why is Headmaster Redmond the only person allowed to set the voice lines? There were also rumors that several faculty members partook in these pranks. I can't blame them for wanting to let off some steam. Magic!
Arcanum.
Really? Fascinating. I thought there'd be a little. Did we really gain anything from this? Alright. Locker room it is. Spend some time wandering through the academy when you overhear a conversation from a nearby room. From what I understand, Miss Steelwind has already moved the investigation elsewhere. How long must I wait before I can retrieve my things? Sorry, old-timer. Orders are orders. Nothing comes in or out till this case is over and done with. Commander White, and the headmaster too? Oh, hello, Mr. Cuthbert. Hey, kid. In any case, there are other matters I must attend to. Please inform me when I can reclaim my things. Sure. Bye. Looks like Commander White is standing guard in front of this locker room. It doesn't look like he's conducting any sort of investigation. It's here on Steelwind's orders. He might be able to tell you who the secret witness is. What was the headmaster talking to you about? Supposedly, is some items stored in one of the faculty lockers. Problem is, Steelwind said no one gets in or out of the room. Except for her and you two, apparently. She won't even let the other knights in here. Really? Is that normal? Nope. But things really are when she's calling the shots. Why would she give you access to the crime scene if she wasn't even letting the knights in? Because she trusts us! Because we're cool like that. We're bros. We just don't know it yet. I don't know what her deal is, but she's been acting strange lately. She's been real paranoid, that girl. Frankly, I can't tell what's going through her head. It's probably because you're shit at your job. You mentioned that the prosecutor's been paranoid lately. Do you think it has something to do with this case? Nah, it started way before that. Lately, she's been using the Inquisition to investigate a lot of non-magical homicides. What? Wouldn't it be easier to work with the relevant law enforcement for that? I don't know why, but she's convinced that these cases have magic involved. But we scanned each and every one of those crime scenes. Nothing turned up. I gotta say though, if it weren't for the scans, I might actually agree with her. Why do you say that? Those homicides. I haven't seen anything like them. They're probably some of the most screwed up cases I've ever handled. For one of those cases, we had ourselves a disgruntled spouse. We found out that her man was going around with a barkeep. And you know what the spouse does? She stalks the poor woman. She starts leaving threatening notes all around where she worked. The barkeep told the city watch all about what was happening. No matter how much they staked out the tavern, they could never catch the perp. Then, one day, the barkeep arrives home. But little did she know, the spouse was waiting there for her. The poor lady never had a chance. Then, to tie the whole thing together, the spouse waits for her husband to get home. She cooks him a big roast, using the barkeep's remains. Oh, great! Not like I was about to go to sleep or anything, but yeah, sure, it can stay up a few more hours, it's fine. Wow, that story is pretty... Yeah. Steelwind thinks someone's developed a new type of magic that control people's minds. And these homicides were some kind of sick test run. Magic that can control people's minds. It sounds like Eris, alright. But wouldn't Mage Blight make more sense? Mage Blight? When a mage overuses their magic, it can have pretty bad consequences on their mind. They temporarily lose grip of reality and begin seeing things that aren't there. When a mage becomes like that, it almost never ends well. They enter a frenzy and begin firing spells randomly,
which should only make it worse. I've seen my fair share of mage blight cases, and this isn't like that. Not all the perps were mages, and the ones that were didn't even use their magic. One thing was that each of the perps almost seemed to wake up after we arrested them. All of them said things like, "It wasn't me," or "I didn't have a choice." They didn't have a choice? What could that mean? I doubt it means anything. Sometimes people can't face the music, kid. It's easier to say that you had no control than to take responsibility. That makes sense. I wonder if you can mislead the commander into revealing who the secret witness is. During the trial, Miss Steelwind mentioned that someone other than John Hughes saw Bellwether walking around. Have you seen them around lately? We wanted to speak with them. Nice try, kid. Well, it was worth a shot. Honestly, I couldn't tell you if I wanted to. I didn't think anyone other than Steelwind knows who this witness is. I sure as hell don't. What? She's even hiding it from the Inquisition commander. Why is she being so secretive? Looks like the commander doesn't know who the secret witness is either. This isn't getting us anywhere. Steelwind's behavior is strange, though. Perhaps you could try and analyzing her behavior. If you do that, you might be able to find a way to convince her to help you. Okay. Steelwind's behavior has been strange this time around. She's hiding elements of the case, even from the commander. Anyone can tell that she doesn't have much faith in him. I'm standing right here. Come on, man! Sorry. I'm making myself giggle. But this is the first time I've seen her hide key details of a case from him. What is motivating Steelwind to keep secrets? There has to be a reason why she's being so secretive. Is she paranoid or is she being smart? Her actions scream paranoid, but her personality screams logic. Okay. Her actions must be driven by paranoia. She's been hoarding information about the case. There's only one reason why she wouldn't utilize the Inquisition like she usually does. It's because she doesn't trust them. I hate to say it, but that doesn't really surprise me. She's always been standoffish with us. But there is one exception. Who has Steelwind trusted for this case? Us. She let us investigate the crime scenes without any restrictions. Yeah, I never really thought about that. Does she trust us that much? I don't think personal trust is the reason. I don't usually interact with her. She's worked with the Inquisition on plenty of cases that we weren't even involved in. It's gotta be something about Tyrion, because Tyrion isn't a member of the... We're not members of the Inquisition. No, there's a key difference between us and the Inquisition. We don't answer to anyone, we aren't subject to corruption. So why would that make Steelwind trust us this time around? We aren't subject to corruption. Okay, so I was basically right. Had to get the wording right. That's chill. Steelwind doesn't know much about us, but she does know that we are prone to noble corruption. Right. You indicted a noble during the last case. Meanwhile, the Inquisition usually bends to the nobility's whims. Well, I can't argue with you there. Alright, what can I infer about the secret witness? Worried about the witness's family. If she's worried about corruption of the nobility, that can only mean one thing. The witness is a noble. The witness has to belong to a noble family. That's why she's so wary of interference. But we're obviously not going to do anything corrupt. Why is she hiding the witness's identity from us? I'm crossing a thought through the eye. So regardless of what I said before, the answer is still no. I think she's worried about our safety. I guess harassing a noble could put you in danger. But I'm the protege of the infamous Ruby Tamora. Yeah, it's not as if we aren't already on the nobility's bad side. I'm sure the Pierce family still has it out for us. This can only mean that the family we're dealing with is even more powerful than House Pierce. If the prosecutor is wary of them, they could even be as powerful as the Steel Winds. Wait, don't tell me you're thinking we're dealing with one of the 4 pillars. 4 pillars? It's a name people use for the top 4 noble houses. Those families stand at the top of the kingdom's aristocracy. If I recall correctly, the 4 pillars are House Frege, House Von Sanctus, House Sybil, and House Steelwind. Steelwind is part of one of them? Yeah. Which makes it so much weirder that she's serving as a prosecutor. Right. I kinda got that vibe that she was one of the big bigs. Like Pierce, which is like a like still above commoners, but not as much as Steelwind's. Steelwind isn't as much as the king, I assume. 4 pillar families have been added to your notes. What is it? Steelwind's weird behavior all started after she investigated this room. We arrived at the crime scene and she left to follow a lead. But an hour later, she came back to the lecture hall and booted everyone out. Her behavior changed after investigating this room. That means she found something here. And that something must point to a family from the 4 pillars. Commander looks a bit anxious. No, Steelwind's orders say I can't snoop around here. But you two, on the other hand. Don't worry, just leave it to us. I have some school records that say which locker belongs to which student. You can use it to tell whose locker you're looking at. Thanks, pal. I like how nice everyone is in this game. Huh? There's an arcane construct in the back here. It's probably here to aid the students. Anyway, I don't think it's relevant to our investigation. But perhaps you should make a small note of it anyway. Yeah, there's totally magic to construct. Dude, are we gonna arrest someone from one of the big 4? That's gonna be hype. Use the legend that the commander gave you. Look carefully across the list and find some notable student names. Wallace, Miriam, Von Sanctus, and Frege. Those are all. Open the locker with Miriam Frege's ID number. Inside, you find a stack of worn-out textbooks and notebooks. Wait a minute. These notebooks all have Wallace's name on them. The notebooks and look through its pages. There appears to be a research on the art of necromancy. These are Wallace's notebooks. But why are they in Miriam Frege's locker? Miriam still has things. Oh. Wait a minute. Tyrion, take a look at this. That's blood. But they switched it. There's a switch. That's Wallace's locker. Here, let's go to Wallace's then. Open Wallace's locker, frequent liquid, and something that looks like a makeup kit. Huh, I didn't expect Wallace to use stuff like this. It does seem strange, but it's not your place to judge. Anyways, you should try looking through the other lockers. It's not his locker! Guys! Jane Von Sanctus's locker. Inside, you find several bottles of some kind of transparent lotion. There's nothing but lotion in here. Oh. I wonder why a student would need this much lotion. Take one of the bottles to inspect it more closely. Oh, wait, Tyrion! Don't touch those with your hands! Some kind of sanitizing liquid. It's a little strange, but doesn't appear to be related to the case. Use the legend that the commander gave you. You look carefully across the list and find some notable student names. You open Warren Sybil's locker. Inside, you find some textbooks and a neatly stacked deck of tarot cards. Oh, it's like those cards that fortune tellers use. I wonder if the student studies divination magic. But anyways, I don't think this is related to the case. Use the legend that the commander gave you. I don't know why I went with Celeste there. Brain be like that. Look carefully across the list and find some notable student names. Shit. We found a few things. What? But I can't really make any sense of it. Oh, I didn't skip. Oops. We should look at this from the prosecutor's perspective. Steelman found something in one of the lockers. This locker had the most suspicious evidence. Whatever it was, it made her extremely paranoid. Miriam Frega's. No matter how we look at it, we found some insanely suspicious things in Frega's locker. It had Wallace's notebooks and even some blood. But that blood is certainly strange. The place had something bloody was stored in there. You think someone stole it? No, actually. I think it was Steelwind who took it. No, right. Lauren mentioned that she investigated this room. She must have taken the bloody item as evidence. But with that said, there's something else that's strange about Miriam Frega's locker. It's a lot of Wallace's possessions. It's possible that she really did steal these items from him. But it's more likely that this locker isn't actually hers. Remember what Wallace told us before? They will steal my swap it around. What does it mean? So someone switched the nameplates? This means that this isn't Miriam Frega's locker. It's Wallace's. But that would mean the bloody object came from Wallace's locker. It appears so. But she wouldn't know that. Right? Maybe she could gander a bit. But if that's true, why didn't Steelwind present the bloody item during the trial? I proved that Bellwether was wounded before Valerie healed her. Wouldn't that have been the perfect time to present what she found? It was a bloody item found in the defendant's locker, after all. She could have easily proved that the nameplates were switched too. Right. That is weird. Something more of this anyone's saying, but what? I think we'll just have to steal one ourselves. No, I can't actually look normal. Anything you want to say about, Ruby? What do you think about me? I didn't expect to see you two again so soon. Well, considering our careers, we'll probably be seeing each other a lot more often. Yep. Well, between you and Tamora, you're a lot less insufferable to be around. Thanks, I think. Everyone seems to have something to say about at least us two. I was surprised to see you again, Mage Girl. I have a name, you know. Yeah. So, what do you think you're doing around the kid this time? Are you too... I'm working as Tyrion's bodyguard now. Really? With your record? I figured you'd be back to the Eastern Kingdoms after your acquittal. Nah, I'm trying to keep my work in Wyvern Guard for now. My mom's all alone after what happened. Right. Hmm. What do you think about the creepy girl? By the way, have you two seen Eris around? Right. Steel wouldn't mention what happened. Yeah, she has really been on my case about that. I can't believe I lost her compendium. But I guess it's mostly my fault. We saw her at the cemetery earlier, but I have no idea where she is now. Damn it. That's probably all that. She's still at the cemetery? Ugh, of course you are. Anything about... Can I tell you about the compendium stuff? Doesn't seem like I can actually tell her. Right? Alright. Let's go to the library. Oh, you're back. We've uncovered a few things during our investigation. Miss Tealwind, are you acquainted with a student named Miriam Frege? I underestimated him. I said it before, Mr. Cuthbert. I won't fall for such an obvious bluff. It's not a bluff, Miss Tealwind. And I'll prove it using the evidence we've gathered. Alright. Let's, the 47 minutes, fine, I'll stop but that means I'm gonna do another recording. I wanted this to be my last, video I record of the day. But shit, I want to do the argument. This game's good. I'm having fun. Goodbye. I'm losing my fucking mind. Goodbye.